بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اسمحوا لي ارحب بحضراتكم معانا النهارده في ختام الجوله الميدانيه اللي يعني شرفت بصحبه عدد من زملائي الساده الوزراء فيها في داخل مدينه الجيزه ومحافظه الجيزه. واسمحوا لي يمكن طبعا في البدايه ان انا انتهز الفرصه ان انا اتقدم لفخامه السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس
I would like to extend my best regards to His Excellency, the head of the state, President Sisi, wishing him a prosperous greater Bayram, and to the rest of Egyptians. It's a real honor for me to be accompanied by Minister of Housing and Minister of Education and the Minister of Tourism also, and the Governor of Giza. They are in my company right now. We are now in a touring one of the very dominant places in Giza Governorate. It's a medical complex in Giza Governorate, which is very important, that was established in Giza lately, according to the latest released projects by the health insurance program in Egypt. And I have always been following up with my colleagues, the ministers, and the Giza governor, the latest establishments that were taken. In this tour, we were executing or inaugurating the medical complex, and we also toured other projects that were included also in this tour that I've witnessed, and I'm really very pleased to see them established. In spite of the fact that those projects were really weren't planned for before earlier for enough time. However, what I'm witnessing now but what I'm witnessing now is a real escalation in the course of projects, like for example the educational complex or center that was also established, that have really sorted out the issue of the lack of different or the presence of schools that could be efficient to satisfy the numbers of students in Giza Governorate. Giza Governorate really had a problem before. It lacked different schools that, like I said, would satisfy the numbers of students inside Giza. Now we're talking about more than 700 classrooms that have been at the same time, establishing schools in resorted areas like that would also require other infrastructural developmental projects like sanitation, like different facilities to be able to bring or provide services for those students. So those projects go parallel with those educational projects that were effected in Giza, and I really admire what happened in a very short time. Today, actually, I was asking the students about the Japanese platform that was established in that educational project that qualified students to be able to be electronically qualified, digitally qualified, and also be coping up with the momentum, with the technological momentum. And exactly this is what I witnessed happened, giving them this code to be able to educate those students and young men and women how to be able to effect some programs, their own programs and technological projects. Also, we're opting also to be able to, hoping for the near future, to educate them financially, to have them insert some financial culture next year, inshallah, hopefully, in another program for our students. In order to achieve all the requirements of families in Giza Governorate from all aspects of life. Today also, I can tell you that this is only a very little part of the educational projects and programs and maps for the country. Another also project is the one of the infrastructural projects and roads that were affected in Giza Governorate as one of the biggest governorates in Egypt. There was development that was affected, but it was not really planned for. The streets were so narrow, and that's why we had to open new veins and also develop with some tunnels in Al Haram and Faisal and other countries and other spheres of infrastructural projects. Also talking about at the same time, we're exerting every effort to be able to facilitate the commute strains and veins in Giza Governorate to be able to speed up with life and for people in Giza. And also we have also witnessed one of the empires, industrial empires of Giza. I could call it a fortress, an industrial fortress that have succeeded profoundly in developing itself since the 70s. It was present since the 70s, but now I'm witnessing profound development as it lacked several industries, and according to a great survey that was done by the specialists and all that, they succeeded in upgrading their services and industries to some medical industries, very profound and latest state-of-the-art medical industries that have been affected in a very short while. The last part of our tour is a visit to Nazlat al-Siman city or district in Al Haram or Pyramids Giza, one of the very charming touristic spots where lots and lots of different tourists reach as a very important and popular destination. We have upgraded this particular district to an unprecedented level, an exquisite and modern and a place that you could find lots of more facilities for tourists, more attraction, more services that could be taken for tourists and for visitors for that particular area, especially that its nature is a little bit different in its own right. Hopefully, we expect that there could be some collaboration with the private sector also, as we are planning that this is actually an international spot in Egypt, no doubt, because of the cultural background and because of the history and because of the location and because of the civilization, you name it. That's why we have been working very hard and to effect a collaboration between the government and the private sector. But we have noticed some also collaboration between the Ministry of Tourism and the private sector in the sense of effecting maps and plans to be able to upgrade this very popular spot in Egypt. I'm really astounded. I'm very grateful to all the governments who have shared in this particular different projects. Now, I'm all open for questions from the media. How exactly could the government be able to convince or find a consent between the owners of apartments and buildings in the surrounding area in Nazlet Semman to be able to give it up and allow the upgrading of this particular spot? We have done that before, and we have effected in Haday al-Ahram, we have effected an alternative housing project that was almost ever twice or triple a better quality than the former one for citizens who owned apartments and buildings inside the older areas. I mean, and they were transferred, and the Antiquities Ministry is already familiar with that. But now we're talking about historic areas. We need to really reflect the real quality of this history and those lots of monuments that are located here, We need also to effect a very professionalized infrastructural center and project that would be able to serve visitors and serve the tourists who are coming over. We're not eradicating the whole place or this whole spot, but we're only opting for upgrading it and qualifying it for better services for the sake of citizens and tourists. The educational file is one of the most important ones. Now, next year, we're looking forward to introduce the Japanese curricula to the preparatory and secondary curriculums in Egyptian schools. We need to take a quick look over how the educational map could be next year. Now, let me tell you that the practical life and future and all the international companies and all would require that we introduce new curriculums and modern curriculums that are fit and that would qualify them to graduate and cope with the international world and international companies. And that's why you have spent a lot of effort to be able to bring that curriculum and introduce it to the Egyptian educational file. If we deny them if we deny them this upgrade, then they won't be able to compete. Now, what we are focusing out right now is that I don't want you to worry. I only care is that I'm focusing over the future, our future youth, to have a lot of prosperity in the near future, to have an image and to have a vision and to have their own agenda for success. According to the tour that was taken over the Japanese complex in one of the districts in Giza, we need to take a look over the Japanese education in Egypt, and how could we introduce new students to that particular type of education, and especially the technological institutions and technological universities and schools that would allow them to have vocational training and would allow them to be specialists and crafts immediate success in the near future after they graduate. Now I'm giving them a full opportunity to be able to fetch his own future in a short span of time, and to be able to get the best job opportunities in countries like Germany, countries like Japan, and European countries. Here we're trying to upgrade the educational culture in Egypt. We are keeping the good sides and upgrading the negative ones. Now, concerning the higher education that has been regarded as one of the best or the most important files, now this is not regarded as the same way it was regarded in the old days. Higher education could be as similar as the technological and vocational education, because this is what the future needs. Concerning the new Delta project, when could we find the results, or when could we fetch the results and the job opportunities of the new Delta project? Let me talk to you on several spheres on the new Delta project. We have been honored by His Excellency the Head of State on Sunday, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, being present with us to inaugurate this project and witness with us all the fronts and opportunities. 9 years before, this land was nothing but desert, and there wasn't any developmental projects or a vision that would handle this particular vast area, which is, by the way, huge in the desert. And as we, with the advent of time, and with the advent of the needs and the lack of the scarcity of food security worldwide, that's why it has crossed our minds to be able to effect something in this vast area in the desert, to be able to allow more job opportunities, to secure food for our citizens, to be able to effect a lot of sufficient chains and requirements for citizens, and to lessen our imports from strategic crops like wheat, for example, and we have succeeded in that. And according to this vision, we were opting to make the best use of every drop of water in Egypt, as we have spared a lot of zillions and zillions of Egyptian pounds to be able to develop with agricultural projects and sanitation projects and other projects and service projects to be able to secure water for the future, and for other much more important projects for citizens. We're also making the best use of the sources of water from the rain and from other sources, and we have been studying projects on that, and we have been effecting also surveys. We also have been able we're also effecting some studies on be able to purify seawater and qualify it for agricultural projects also at the same time, and we have succeeded in that. Then we have raised, we've been facing a lot of opposition. We spent a lot of time explaining to people who are concerned and who have been asking questions, and who have been skeptical about those types of projects, and now we are harvesting the results of these very successful projects. We have 27 governorates. Amongst them are, most of them are agricultural governorates. So the biggest one of them is 2.2 million fadan. So we had to create land, agricultural land, as if we are creating 5 extra governorates, agricultural governorates, to add it to those 27. Now we have allocated a lot of companies, professionalized and expert country, probably companies who have worked tooth and nail to be able to execute that huge agricultural project. Now, in less than 10 years, I've been able to effect the agricultural lands that have already been there in one of the Renaissance agricultural boom that Egypt have witnessed. Have we secured the food issue? Yes, we did. Have we tried to provide job opportunities? Yes, we are working on this, and we have succeeded in this. Now we're talking about millions and millions of job opportunities that are going to be provided either now or in the near future. Also agricultural projects that are going to be effected. Also villages and cities, new villages and cities that are going to be effected in the near future. This is our map and our vision. I'm talking to you as an engineer, not as a prime minister. This particular project have witnessed a collaboration of almost all the governments that have been sharing each with his own effort in this particular agricultural project. The capacity and size of work and effort that has been spared is equal to almost more than 6 times the high dam. And let me remind you that the high dam have taken years and years to be effected. Now the new Delta project have taken a lot less time than the high dam. We should be aware of the amount of effort and work and the collaboration that is being spared in this particular project. And let me tell you that I am following up with the outcome of the wheat let me tell you that last year, for example, we were less 600,000 tons less than this year, and the same thing the year before. So telling you how we tried to enlarge the capacity of the harvest of wheat in Egypt is came as a result of all those efforts and the collaboration of different governments and experts, Egyptian experts, 100% Egyptian, before, when we were opting to establish the high dam, there were also skepticism if we were going to succeed or no. Now it's the same thing. But we should have trust in our own efforts and our own abilities and within our history. If we have effected an unprecedented project like the high dam, then we are able to effect even much more successful projects. According to the Eva Pharma project that you have toured also, is there any other expanded vision or collaboration in that particular domain with the private sector? We have seen that in the property, one of the property development projects. Is the same thing going to happen to this current project? Let me tell you that the medical sector in Egypt is more than 50% private sector. We are presenting incentives for those who are collaborating with us or for the investors. And ever since the 30s, there has been collaboration, that the medical industry come a long way. And we are generating or producing even more than 70% of the requirements of medical requirements for citizens. Also, we have new industries that have been introduced and were appraised by the WHO, and the whole world knows that. Now we are opting to achieve land sufficient on which we can establish those industries to manufacture the medicine, and this is happening between the governor and different governments, and we are now in a stage of collaboration and managing these types of projects. Allow me, Your Excellency, to monitor your being keen on being present amongst the people who are the people who are in need, people on the low-income brackets and in rural areas, and people who are of a lesser ability financially. I've witnessed that with my own eyes. How exactly the government is going to provide financial facilities for people who might be of a lesser ability to be able to offer a better life and a livelihood for their families. Is that also included in your vision? And also I'm asking about the International Monetary Fund, the mission that was here, and if you'd like to update us. Let me tell you honestly, and you can see it by your own eyes, we have been working tooth and nail to establish parks and to establish spaces for those low-income brackets and for the families of Egyptian, the people with less capability financially speaking. We have been trying to, first and foremost, providing facilities and services within their limits, within their financial limits, to be able to entertain their families, even during Bayram and Eid and during vacations in summer and all this. And we're still working on this. But however, the private sector also is sharing in this. But sometimes there might be, we haven't been established fully in this particular map, but we are working very hard. Talking about the International Monetary Fund, the IMF,
زي ما حضراتكم تابعتوا يمكن كان في لقاء مهم
there was a very important encounter between the president and the chairman of the IMF during the France-Africa summit, according to the request of this particular entity. And it was a very prosperous and successful encounter where the IMF have hailed and appraised the Egyptian steps to develop with its economic plan to be able to overcome the difficulties and barriers that every country worldwide is trying to overcome right now. And there was also talk about the program and following up with this program. And as we all know that the program is ending by the end of 2026, and we're wishing all the best for Egypt to achieve its goals.